Okay, everybody, let's get to it and let's give away a book right off the bat. Bud Thompson. Bud Thompson was the first person into the chat today. So every Thursday, we're going to give away some books. And so the next couple weeks, first person into the chat that just gives us a yo, you win. So, Bud, way to go. Hold on one second. Check this out. What's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you so much. Glad to have everybody in here, and happy Thursday. Quite a few days in crypto, right? Whose neck is sore after the couple whiplashes of the past 48 hours? Let's get right into it with Ethereum, folks. I mean, Ethereum is astounding. 1430 is still the absolute failure point for the entire check back move. I see NASDAQ and the markets are rolling over again. They were positive. Now they've gone negative for now. Let's get into that after we address crypto. Because I think crypto is this whole Ethereum deal is maybe the only area trying to do anything constructive. Everything else looks like it's on a clear type 2 return. Great to see everybody in the chat. Vio, Sniper, James, Claire. Hey, Miss Stephanie, how are you? Bud Thompson, you need to reach out to Miss Stephanie in our Discord chat. Send her your address and we'll mail you that book. If everybody, easiest way to get connected with the whole program, basic membership on the homepage of Harmonic Trader. You can get the free 2-week trial. Just register now, become a basic member, and then click. Everything starts on the basic members page right there, and then please read the instructions. Actually, the layout is pretty easy. That we've even had people able to translate the pages with Google Translator that don't speak English, so that's pretty good. I think one thing I need to do is post all of the different foreign language copies for folks of the books, because the books have been translated into 4 or 5 languages now. We'll work on that. But get with the TradingView program. Many folks are, and that's great to see, because everything we're doing, all of the signals, the stuff we're looking at today begins and ends with the TradingView platform. I think that's great because you can have it on your phone and your computer. I run 2 or 3 platforms, definitely eSignal and MetaTrader sometimes. But send your username, not email address, but username to hpc@sr-analyst.com for a 14-day free trial. Excellent. Let's give away another book. First person to put in 14-day trial. 14-day trial. You win a volume 3. I'm going to keep you guys on your toes today. Market's selling off precipitously now. 14-day trial. I need to see those 3-4 words. 14, however you want to spell it. Day trial. 3 words. 14-day trial. And then get with the books. I mean, all the books are here for your... Okay, Palm Tree wins. Palm Tree. Oh, wait. Oh, Palm Tree, I can't give it to you. You misspelled trial. No, I'll give it to you. I'm only kidding. But that's so funny. I'm not the only one that does that. Palm Tree wins. Give it to Palm Tree. You reach out to Miss Stephanie. NASDAQ down 50 points since we started the session 4 minutes ago. Now down 80 on the day. Looks like it's going to go run all the way back down to new lows. But folks, everything that we do starts here on the basic members page. Get with the software. A lot of people are trying the the MetaTrader platform. So access that page, look at the information, and eSignal, which is the Cadillac, and we'll pull that out. Let everyone get a gander at that program today. But all the information's there, and then go through on the basic members page. Look, education, the videos, everything is on this one page. Click on the library here on your YouTube and go for it. There you go. All right. So let's get right into Ethereum, which is the big situation, now rolling over. Are you kidding me? We were just 13 what? 1380? 1650. I've got this 1430 so planted on my brain. But what we want to talk about today is moving up this stop limit and absolutely just tightening stops. And I want to walk through what's going on with the limit of what's the tolerance here. How many people, raise your hands, have been kind of nervous, to say the least, of especially the last 24 hours? Down 10% and then out of nowhere. I mean, there's your candle wick, 1487 on the low for Ethereum yesterday. I mean, not even 24 hours ago. And then go to 1650. That's a huge move. 10% down, 10% up. That's crypto. Now, I don't care what it is, if it's crypto, if it's options, and I've always said that crypto trades a lot like an option market that's open 24/7. We have concrete signals, concrete structure that once it stabilizes, asserts itself, begins to do the new move, create the new segment, if you will, that has to follow specific behavioral patterns or rules or traits to really form the development of what would fit within the harmonic pattern framework. Recall last week, looking for type 1 reactions and all these bat patterns in the various markets that popped up. We were looking for target 1, just reaction. HSI came in a little bit lower. Okay, that's standard. 1560, target 1 was 1590. We went as low as 1430 in a move that scared everybody. And I was been saying the last several sessions, like, look, that's your number. You fail 1430, then you go back and it's a full, deeper, longer retest. That's why, and the thing I will continue to say is that this is it. There's just no room for tolerance. Like we see the markets now down, Nasdaq's almost down 100. This thing's dropping like a rock. This is the other issue where we have macro factors. You have tech stocks that have not really seen much relief. One-day rallies and roll back down, a la today. Now, Ethereum looked great. Tuesday afternoon, we came in here. I was like, yeah, this looks great. We just need to close above 1650, and the whole thing collapsed. It just puked. During the session, we were in here, and then by the close that night, it looked like, okay, this thing is going to go, it's going to fall apart now. Just take a look at the last couple of daily candles here. That's an amazing range. That's incredible action. What can we obviously see from this chart? Well, look, there's our confirmation trigger that was supposed to end the reaction that started a couple weeks ago. It's taken the better part of 5, 10, 12 days maybe total to try to get out. And we have not yet seen a close substantially above any of this immediate resistance, 1620. I mean, really nothing asserting itself above 1600. And this large drop down candle that caused the check back, that was when really, because it was such a large check back candle, we were, not surprised to see this come back retest. But this kind of action down was fairly daunting for that whole return scenario, meaning end of the reaction, and then can we start something to go back up to retest? Every time we try to break out, get some progress out of this hole from the check back, it seems like it's getting smacked on its head. So I would be waiting until the clearest of closes, 3-bar close. That would be any kind of 3-bar close. That's now above 1685. But the fact that it's coming back already, you had no progress. Here's this morning's move, this morning's action. I just astounding. But we've seen a whole bunch of stuff. Major moves down, 10% down, like I said, or that's more like 15, 10% up. Tradable 5 minute charts, or even I think hourlies have been showing some larger patterns. There you go. And this is the probably the big pattern we want to consider with Ethereum now, and it's on a 4-hour chart. Let me get to Coinbase. It's on all of them. Where's Coinbase? Coinbase, thank you. There you go. We are in the midst of retesting this Gartley pattern that did take shape 2 days ago and was, basically completed as we were talking, but the confirmation didn't happen until after the dump went to target one, and we came back to the XA level. This is insane. Your XA level here is 1657.67. The high of that candle, 1657.68. So by definition, structurally, this 4-hour Gartley has completed. Need to consider that at a low spot. No confirmation, but structurally, if this slows down and can't get above 1650, 1680, this is why. Hop level at 1736 is your maximum. That look at it two ways. Okay? If we come up later, maybe by tomorrow or over the weekend, and hit 1736 and get bearish confirmation, I'd say look out. I'd say this could be the trigger, the type 2 that we all love to see. Come back, retest the zone, give us a confirmation trigger of HSI, some kind of arrow at 1736, and then come back down. There's no reason why that wouldn't happen, especially with all of the swings that we have seen. So it's tight action. It continues to just be super chop. If you're going to take a whack at this, look, be prepared to be in and out within 12 hours. It's a lot going on. I mean, really, you got the major market after yesterday's one-day fiesta rolling over again. I mean, now down 102, 104 on NASDAQ. Looks like it wants to go back to the lows of the session. That's going to pressure crypto. But let's just focus on Ethereum. I think if you want a total argument for crypto of where the money's going to go, if it's going to go into crypto, it's going to be Ethereum and Ethereum-related projects, mostly because of the news. Bitcoin's not doing anything. A lot of people are very concerned about Bitcoin. It's just a dud. I'm not, that even in the worst case scenario, Bitcoin, I think still, it's got a ways to go. I mean, let's get to quickly, let's look at the weekly chart on Bitcoin. That's terrible. Look, this is in the last 3 months. Okay, we're already checked back. 19,685, 675, sorry. That's the weekly HSI level. And you're squeezed between the two. There here on the support side, and then on the top side for your bearish resistance of about 25,000. This is zero, zero action, zero movement relative to, say, what Ethereum and other related projects have done. And I think a close, and this is important, any close underneath these lows, underneath 18.6, underneath 17.6, the close will seal the deal. Your indicators are nowhere yet to confirm on the bullish side. Bitcoin coming back into the oversold zone, never a good move. If you're looking for that thing to turn around, it would still have to go in and come out immediately. Meanwhile, Harmonic Strength Index just broke the 50 line, going lower. It's just in the meantime of where we are, with all the patterns and the check back signals and everything that we've looked at and talked about for weeks now, just in this most recent pullback, You're hitting ultimate limits that a substantial close, any kind of close on the weekly, monthly, daily charts even is going to trigger it. So that's, I'm looking to Ethereum to do things and now. And so if we fail this challenge, if we fail, let's get back to really this is everything because this has better make or break properties than even Bitcoin. Okay, you got something like that possible where if Ethereum cannot hold here and now, all right, and then where's the sorry, let me bring this back. Where's the Coinbase feed? Because that had everything on it. Bear with me. Oh, it's on a daily chart. That's the problem. Here we go. Bybit, Coinbase, Binance, they all pretty much the same. Where the heck did that go? Oh, there's Coinbase feed. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. No, where is that? I just had the bearish pattern, the bat. There it is. I don't know why it's not on those other ones, but look, I'm trying to break this down relative to this bearish pattern only. And that's fulfilling everything you want to see in a type 1 end of the reaction, begin the return move to retest your prior high or even the hop level. Okay, that's the whole argument right here. But once it asserts itself and does this kind of stuff, there's no room to allow this to say go all the way back down. Let's say this thing rolls over the next 2 days, 3 days, takes out maybe the prior day low under, I would say now under about 1490. Then you're just going to run lower. I mean, you're going to have to like reset the whole process and be looking for, even against that one pattern, maybe this does come down to target 2, but the whole deal is going to take more time. It's just going to take more time. So you're waiting for the return. And what I'm saying is that if it fails here day over day, you're going to take a lot more time to come lower. And that's just pure drawdown. Be mindful of that. This is also running into a start your daily counter. Okay, how many days since the trigger signal? 15 bars. That's half of 30. Here's 30. 30 bars puts you around the 24th of September. It should be up here by the 24th. Just looking for the retest, the return level. That's why this whole scenario where we are, and we, fingernail biting really since last Thursday with that drawdown, it's saying like, I don't know. If this thing breaks down, if it breaks down here, and again, we can bump the stops up, move your stops where, maybe from before we were here, 1430, then we start bumping stops to more like, 1490, 1500. This really should be beginning from yesterday's candle, that massive reversal. If that's going to truly be something, we need to continue in the next 48 hours. I want to see it close just even above yesterday's high, above 1655. Nothing says it can't take its time to get all the way back to retest the pattern for the full type 2 completion. But the tolerance, the limits for how much screwing around will allow this process to happen is, we said last week it was running out of time. But at least it's doing something, and the way that we alleviate the situation is you're bumping stops. You're bumping stops, and your whole outlook of what crypto is going to do, are you going to at least get a reactive return to retest August peak? Not if you break under 1500, close below 1500. This is one of those squeeze points. 1650 on the top side, now 1500 on the support. It could. We've seen a couple good comments in the chat. Padawan Bit, he says he thinks BTC was going to hold sideways. You thought you were going to it was going to hold sideways last week of October. Yeah, I mean, listen, we'll look at that in a second, but I think Ethereum is there's a real shift. I believe there's a real shift that even if you come out the other side of this cycle, Ethereum will be the dominant crypto. People will be chasing chasing Ethereum on the next cycle like it's Bitcoin or like they were Bitcoin with the last one. I definitely looking at that as kind of the harbinger of what can happen, even though total indices are showing us much the same deal. I mean, as we've talked about, total 2, total 3, these are critical markers, indices for the whole crypto space where, look, total 2 came all the way, is this total 3? Yeah, that's total 3. So take out Ethereum, BTC, basically all the S coins and T coins and anything but Bitcoin and Ethereum. What is that? What's happening here? Is money flowing into all of those other S coins? Well, after reacting off the bat, we're trying to stabilize, trying to break out. Target 2 at 371 billion. That was hit, but that can't be exceeded. You cannot see it. And actually, yesterday we were at a new low for this move. And then we reversed down. So if this thing breaks yesterday's low, a close under anything here, okay, yeah, it's going to then, that's just another sign of, looks like this is going to want to come back and retest the larger zone. Retest this, say this crab pattern, and come much deeper into this. I think that's a weekly as well. On a daily, oh, okay, here you go. On the weekly, it's a bat pattern. I mean, there's nice patterns here. We've been looking at these daily, weekly suckers for a long time. The problem with, here's another one. I mean, even on the weekly chart, look, we really honed in on this crypto, looking around the 21st, got the trigger, depending on your market, your coin, your index. There's a 27th of June for that where it triggered. And you got 6 decent weeks out of the hole, but then you registered another HSI. That's always going to be more time. We're looking for this to go to target 1 off of that bat pattern. Look, pretty much lay it out like this. Some kind of steady, that's not even 45 degree, but get a 45 degree baseline coming out of the zone and then develop and trigger, probably need to trigger another HSI or some kind of oversold event. Yeah, look, there's your last weekly coming down, and amplified RSI, look, has a complex structure there, but didn't even get to the 50 mark. If we come back down, yeah, it's going to have retest. You're going to go back and retest June lows, or at least come close to those triggers. I still love the weekly patterns. I just think I'm going to probably get shots at a lower level, even lower than we are now. Total 2 is the same deal. Look at total 2. Actually, total 2 is kind of crazy because look at what happened, and this is with Ethereum. It excludes Bitcoin. Bat pattern on the weekly hits the hop exactly. The low, 427.57. Hop level is 430 billion. And reverses. All right, super constructive. That's the kind of thing you want to see. Confirmation came in right there. That's your go point. That's where we were saying Ethereum at 1040. 6 weeks of not a heck of a lot of price. And then you register another HSI. Minimum, it's going to need more time. If not, another oversold reading, say amplified, come down, give us a secondary reading. That's what's at stake. And certainly if HSI comes down further under the 50, you can't turn around here, and I mean this week, then you're talking many more weeks sideways. Grind. It's been really tough. Carthago says it makes no sense to hodl Bitcoin. I mean, it's amazing how the narrative changes, and people had to sit on Bitcoin for a long time, 2017, 2018, and they want to cite, incredible moves, long-term performance of Bitcoin. Um, I don't think any of us in here got in that low. And most of us were talking about major topping action last December, January, even in March and April. We were saying this stuff's going a lot lower. And so we're down here now at the all-time 886s and your all-time lows, looking for triggers after 80-90% corrections. Not an easy game to do. Sometimes you're trying to pick a knife. That's not really, we want to avoid those situations, but there's a lot of things going on here. Here's total DeFi index. All right, beautiful crab. Who's to say that that did not respond off of the zone in ideal fashion with confirmation, everything? That can happen. But now we have a counter HSI signal, and you're retesting that big XA level at 428 billion. That's your total DeFi crypto market cap. We need to see maybe a retest, maybe call it 38 billion. Right now it's 44 billion. And maybe another oversold reading again, just like the other ones. I think at a minimum, let's just understand that this is going to take more time. Maybe we just say this whole thing is in a 30-bar consolidation window. Puts you to January. Those are the two scenarios. And we've talked about how this could take its time, get some kind of reaction. But even in this consolidation, if it's 30 bars, we're looking at this to go into the end of the year. That's what's at stake. And if it doesn't hold now, you don't get any upside progress now, then you grind lower. And we won't need to give it much more than what we've outlined here to know that that's, just that attempt from June and this retest, check back, whatever. If it fails, it's going to fail. I think we know the level, just how many days. Conversely, I mean, we're squeezed in this range and we pop out and we can break out or get a bullish close. We need one week, one bullish candle, one follow-through week to have something. So by Sunday, I think if it's bullish or bearish this week, depending on where you can close any crypto market, comparison to last week, is going to dictate a heck of a lot of what to expect going into September, October. Is it going to be 6 or 8 weeks more of this stuff? Or are we going to get some kind of resolution now? Here's Binance Coin. The big deal here was that we got within a stone's throw away from Target 1. Target 1 was 256 on Binance Coin, 256.60. The low was 258.85. Real close. I would have preferred to have seen that hit, and it's not over yet, but keep an eye on that. The whole deal about Binance Coin, as we've been saying, is that it's probably the strongest of all the cryptos. It has sustained, although it's sustained a healthy correction, it's not one of these that has gone full 886, all-time 886 or anything like that. Here's, BNB looks like this. There's your high to low, and then we're about what, a 707 all-time. Yeah, it's about a 707 retracement, or even the all-time 618, which is, a nice primary number. Tell me what it's doing at the all-time 618. It's holding, right? 268. Interesting. All-time 618, about 268. Pretty much where it needs to hold on the daily level as well. Ever since that bat pattern completed and we got HSI, we got a real nice type 1 correction. Really nice, but it's not over yet. Keep an eye on that stuff. All right, a couple more. I did want to show and highlight something that is now full type 2 return. This is Chili's. Let this be yet another example of the type 2 return setup, the power, the signals. Okay. Deep crab pattern, we were all over that. Not only that, we were all over the fact that we were gunning for target 1. And it jumped all the way up to target 2 at 23.56, 23.56 cents, and gave you HSI at the termination point. Really? There it is. There it is. HSI checking back. You know, I was out of that early. And I said that to everybody. As soon as that HSI developed, bang, I was out. Now, and your final determinant always in just about any segment, but especially type 1 reactions, you violate the uptrend, or you violate whatever that reaction trend is, it's over. And I would be looking for Chili's to come back. Do we get all the way to 11 cents? Maybe. Keep an eye on it. But that's reaction reversal dynamics that even when it looked like this thing would moon to 40, 50 cents or whatever, no, it was done at target 2. That's how we got to be thinking with all of these. We're not, hey, if Chili's came all the way back and registered some kind of confirmation down here, let's say it drops, tanks 11.3 cents, and then registers something down there. Well, then that's where I would expect the larger possibility, but this was a heck of a type 1 reaction. Keep an eye on these setups, because not only are they, actionable, clear, ideal model framework opportunities, they're also giving us insights of, those that are particularly harmonic. What are they doing? And where are they in the framework? Like, if I know Chili's has got to come down more, maybe some of the other markets are going to come down more. Here's an anchor coming on back. And we're in this area against that crab pattern. Basically 3.77 is that minimum number. Confirmation checked off a couple days ago at around 3.5. And your terminal bar is at 2.96. I would say it's somewhere between 3 to 3.5 cents. Let's keep an eye on it. Amplified has not registered yet. Nothing there. It's close. And this is another one where we just said, hey, type 1 reaction. And then if we're going to get a big, larger move potential off of that deep crab, it'll have to come back. Didn't seem like it would happen, but straight up, come on back down. And that's the area where, again, I'll say it well in advance, that we can get back down here and trigger some things. Our target 2 is still the play. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that, please. Because those that have truly ideal harmonic pattern framework situations, those that have clear back-to-back, this is back-to-back-to-back harmonic pattern developments, those are going to give you insights to what the larger market will do. Check out Cosmos, folks. I know it doesn't seem like much, but here's development. You're stuck at some hop levels at 1360. Be aware of that. But at least it's off the floor. That was $5, now 13. Running into a couple things, but what's the, I need to get, I got to get better data feed. There you go. Yeah, this is an 886 weekly HSI, like a lot of them, but at least this is showing progress. There it is. There you go, 886, all-time 886 was right at $6. Now 13. Progress. I mean, they have to see a few of these individual cryptos pop off. If the other ones like Ethereum are going to turn around and continue its turnaround, this stuff needs to pop off. Things like Cosmos and other ones that are trying to come off the floor, they need to keep going. Here's one or two that I thought really interesting. Here's Axie Infinity on the daily. Check this out. This is where we're starting to get the smaller patterns. You're in a big bullish zone. All right, I know. Confirmation happened at or below the hop in a lot of these. But here's Axie, AXS, USD. Real nice back-to-back. Gartley at 20.40. Come back down, give you a bat pattern. All of that around 13.23. You're 13.74 now. Target one is still 15.90. Call it $16. But this is where the patterns as a signpost of future price behavior, which is the first thing I've ever said harmonic patterns were. They are a signpost. They are a signal of potential action. Sets you up where at least you have type 1 reaction. Right here off the 13 support level. But it's still only type 1. And I would look for that to come up. Then back down. So that's a tradable. I'm sizing that up. I haven't entered yet, but it's a beautiful trade. Beautiful opportunity there. But the larger move, if you're really looking for it, is to wait for the retest and then come back down for like a second time and then go. Several of these are setting up like this. Here's Avalanche. Okay, Avalanche. Yeah, another, that was an ABCD right off the July lows, June lows. But look, Avalanche is another big pattern. This is a butterfly. Hop level was as low as 13. Check this out, please. So you see the butterfly, Coinbase feed on the daily. The hop level on the butterfly. And folks, this is why you need the software. People ask me, what's the hop? I'm not going to tell you. The hop is built into the software. It's a proprietary number for each pattern. But when you see hop levels holding like this, 1382, what was the exact low? 1380. You think 1380 is an important number? I think so. And we even have this HSI signal. So 1460 for that. Really tight zone. I'm looking at this. Nothing. I wish I had yet another pattern down here. Okay, so you're trying to consolidate. You formed a bearish pattern. Bearish pattern with a bearish HSI against that zone. It's going to take more time. You came down to target 2, but this one you did check back and fail. 2149 failed. So you have to be patient on this. Either one more HSI signal or probably, another week of trading to bust out and establish something to the right of that downtrend. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. But that's a big pattern in the daily where you're looking for things down here. I'm looking for things down here, but maybe it's all the way back at 1382. I don't know. It should have turned around like Ethereum did. When Ethereum did its check back at its number, and at least Ethereum bounced up. This is not, that's failure. Needs more time, but get it on the radar. One or two more. Some of the ones that, what's the other? Here's Ethereum Classic. I think this is important to look at, especially with all of the news going on. Look, 4-hour time frame. Okay. On Binance, look at this. We've got a few bearish alternate bat patterns. All of this around 42 to 44 bucks. Be aware of it. If we come back again to 44 and fail it, all right, that's going to be really difficult for the longer term trend. You need to see this break through and not look back. If you're going to get a major move where what started back in June is something going to turn into something more, you have to take this out. Otherwise, you roll down. Like here's the daily time frame, still trending up, especially off that last signal. But I'm looking back at this arrow, the 42 area, major resistance. See what happens up there. Okay, and this does have, is this a weekly? Yeah, look at this. So this is the big thing that I'm really caught my eye with this Ethereum Classic, and we can extrapolate this across the whole Ethereum landscape of, okay, is this news, whatever's going to happen later this month with Ethereum, is it really going to be a big deal? Well, tell me what that pattern is. Everybody, tell me. First person to tell me what that pattern is wins a book. First person to tell me what's that pattern. Okay, I need the pattern name. Wins of volume 3. Because there's a just clear, ideal harmonic pattern framework going on. Let me know. Off of that pattern completion, no, guys, come on. What's this pattern right here? Butterfly, Niall O'Connor, you win. That's right. It's a butterfly because the 786, your B point's at a 786. I know it's a little close, it's a little too close to see, but look, 127, it's a type 1. And the thing about this that I'm closely monitoring for Ethereum is the fact that you ran up here and this week, actually I think it was yesterday, you ran right into target 1. Target 1 was 39, or it is 39.45, and you have an HSI signal from 2 weeks ago at 38.38. So there's your range. It's a $1 range, 38.40 to 39.45. And look at the price action. Tell me what this did on the first move up. Super strong off the low. Amazing that this thing right at the hop. The hop was 13 and a quarter. The low for the move was 12.47. And here's something else. Let's look at the check back that happened here on the butterfly for Ethereum Classic. It had everything you want to see, and this is the real challenge of when we get ugly checkbacks like we have in Ethereum right now. But there's your sun icon. There's your HSI arrow. So icon, sun icon, let that go on. Then with green arrow, great. You get that and that. It's plenty of time because we're looking to the right of those two signals and looking for it to check back. Now here's just something to consider. There's the check back level at basically 20 bucks. But what happens that we got that big week down? That was end of June, where it didn't complete the check back until on the close, and that was around 1664. Think about that. If you're looking to execute on a check back, this might help some people to simply wait for that check back bar to close. A few people told me they've entered on check backs and then they get annihilated because it goes too deep on that check back. Wait for the close. Wait for that to close, or even better, wait for one candle after the check back that agrees with your pattern. Bullish pattern, I need a bullish candle after that check back. Couple of things to consider because that's what we're dealing with on the current chart with Ethereum. You had a strong check back, a couple of extra days. Now we're trying to bust out, but it has to do some follow through. With Ethereum Classic, look, we're at the end of a type 1 reaction, and I'm watching this closely because if that's the end of the type 1 and then we're going to go into the return phase where we have to come back and retest the $20 level structurally, because that's where the butterfly completed, and that's how we distinguish, where exactly does it have to go to be official. It's got to hit the primary leg, the XA leg, and that's back at 20 bucks. We're trading 40. Those are some concerns. We fit it within the harmonic pattern framework. Just ask yourself, where are we within the harmonic pattern framework on Ethereum Classic? We're entering the type 2 return. Careful. I mean, really, I think Ethereum name service didn't this have, this might have had something. This is a real nothing, but just another kind of, oh, sorry, another vehicle related to Ethereum. Daily bat pattern. You're just, oh, I see what this was. I remember. Okay, super ugly bat pattern, but I can't ignore the fact that it did an ugly reaction that actually bounced exactly off of target one. Here's another one, target one, 1120. The low was 1124. Close enough. And now you're back to a hop where $15 and HSI on the retest, all of the elements you want to see for a type 2 to set up for the larger reversal to take shape from here, it would be essentially look like that. That's why this is so critical. You're in a spot with some of these where you're in type 2 return potential location. Be aware of that. Be aware of that. And it has to break through. These that are setting up for a type 2 have to do something spectacular by Monday. We come back here on Monday. I would have to say that the only way that gets resolved where it breaks out is it just kind of violently annihilates it. But you're day 3 at this hop level. That's important. You're just kind of not able to get through. You're not able to close above $15 by tonight. That's another sign. A lot of things stacking up. I mean, just not what you want to stack up, but they're stacking like that. Here's the other one. I'm going to finish up with this one. Solana. Okay, is this going to do anything? Remember, the big weekly bat pattern is beautiful. It's a beautiful bat pattern. I think I've said this before with a lot of these weekly patterns. A year ago, even I considered like the next cycle. It's like, okay, we get the next cycle and it gets another 886 retrace, and we get the big patterns like we had in Bitcoin and Ethereum that preceded the last cycle. I better be ready to jump. Well, here it is in Solana. But you got confirmation back in June, completed in May, and you went sideways to up. I mean, that was a double off the low, but you ran into another HSI. So now more time. At least last week was a bullish candle. You need to see individual bullish price action from here. I mean, I would rather wait for a close above 33. Or even better, on the long-term basis, weekly, you can be patient and wait for that weekly amplified RSI to get above the 50 level. Might cost you a few bucks, but the condition for some kind of larger breakout will not happen until we get above here. The issue with Solana last time is we couldn't even get above the 50 line. You went oversold, you got to 45, you rolled back down. It's just more time. Don't think of it necessarily as bad or going to go collapse. It's just, you're going to have to require more time. Think of it this way. If June 21 was your general low, then your 30-week countdown, again, takes you to January. But you need to see that. You need to see more. You need to see individual development for this thing to hold. Take time. Okay, I'll show you that one. Someone's VE chain, and same deal. Beautiful, massive pattern. Beautiful. I mean, everything that you want to see. This is why I'm staying vigilant on crypto, because you do have these massive patterns. I will go back and show you the two examples I always refer to. But look, here's confirmation all the way back down. That was at 2.2, I think. Yeah, roughly 2.1. But we go sideways for most of the summer, another HSI. It's just going to take more time. You're pretty much grinding between 2 and 3 now. With target 1, I mean, we're looking for another trigger after that bearish HSI. You also have to break above this downtrend that started back in April last year. Okay, and those that haven't busted out of the downtrend, you need to get to the right. You need to get to the right. For a lot of these, it doesn't come in until later this fall. But target one and weekly chart still up at 12 cents. But it could take well into next year before that triggers with this kind of action. Go 30 weeks. 30 weeks off that last HSI trigger is, again, that's 23rd, sorry, Jan 23, mid-January. That's the way a lot of this is shaping up. And let me show you the two historic examples. Why am I showing these weekly patterns? Why am I with the crypto? What's the historic precedent? You go back to these patterns, okay? The Bitcoin before the massive move. And let's forget that move. Let's just go to 2017, 2018. You went to 20,000 from really a low that was just 100, from 100 to 20,000. That's insane. But then guess what happened? 886 bat pattern. Hello. Okay. And the bat pattern generated off of that July 17 low is an intermediate low, but the B point, the XABCD parameters all pointed your primary leg, your 886 was around 3,700. And even that, I mean, there's the completion, there's the confirmation, and that was 4 weeks later. But remember what I keep saying, okay, let's just project 30 bars, 30 weeks from the completion or the trigger point. Where does that put you? In this instance, you had a heck of a lot of progress. You got up to target 2 within 30 weeks, but it still probably took 15 from the confirmation to develop that. And even with that, you still, and we're just talking pattern dynamics, harmonic pattern dynamics, forget everything else, all narrative, we're just talking harmonics. You still had a retest of that pattern with a secondary pattern. That's possible. That's a weekly chart. And so your explosion from the massive initial pattern, let's just, how many weeks till that was broken out? 103 weeks, 105 weeks generally, almost 2 years. Just keep that in mind. 2 years from now puts you into 2024. You'll get another halving cycle by then. I know it's, a hell of a ways off to talk about something like that, but that's where you are in the weekly long-term perspective of things. You're down in a ditch, in a hole, trying to not lose any more than 90% or 80%. And you're looking for triggers down here weekly. The other takeaway is that there's always been plenty of time with this stuff. So keep an eye just on the current weekly patterns with this in mind. And we had the same thing in total crypto market cap and Ethereum. You go back to those charts. Ethereum was, there you go. There's a bat pattern. And I think Ethereum's even better. Look how weak that action was. Harmonic dud. This is more like the situation we see with the likes of Solana and other longer term patterns where you didn't even get out of the zone. You didn't even get above your XA level. Here's the pattern completed. There's confirmation. Okay, you really didn't get out of the zone. Again, 100 weeks. And certainly break out all-time new highs. It was 125 weeks. All right, maybe there's something to this 100-week thing. 100 bars. Think in bars. But this is more, I feel, the scenario of what's going on with these long-term patterns just dragging quite precisely at our measured levels. And take a look. Here's the other takeaway from all of this stuff. You go back to 2018, these massive weekly patterns. We want to look at the confirmations. Okay, completion, pattern completion, confirmation. Okay, let's get into business to the right of that. But oh, wait a minute, you have not finished the bear market yet. You haven't finished it. You haven't gotten to the right of it. Oh, okay. Explains why maybe it takes more time. You get another signal. Run into a bearish HSI. Again, that's exactly what we just had. What does that mean? More time. Grind down sideways. Okay, next HSI. Coming out of the zone, bang, you run into another bearish HSI. One of these is going to give way, okay? You might hit 2 or 3 HSI weekly triggers in the next 3 months before you get some major development, even to a type 1 possibility. But that went 100 weeks. And if we're going to go sideways and do this grind, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Maybe on some of those S or T coins. But, you know, beautiful structures. But we need to focus on the confirmation. Absolutely. There's just, it's going to take more time. Even like, look at Ethereum right now. I mean, Ethereum, I'm going to take away all these lines. Okay, look, up or down? Are we up or down? Last 12 months, what's that? Okay, you got to break out of that. What's the last 100 months? It's something like this. You know, really boring uptrends, probably better drawn like off of there, something like that. So even in drawing your long-term uptrends, no harmonic patterns, no nothing, just draw your trends. What's the work that needs to be done here? Okay, you need to get sideways. You need to get to the right of that downtrend, and you need to maintain that uptrend. All of that says you need to stay above 1,000 by the end of the year, essentially, and hopefully do something now, not later. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, that's a great comment. It's best not to deploy capital or to be sizing up, I think is maybe a better way to look at it. You could nibble, you could take shots, but we're not there at the phase yet to absolutely explode and get out of this. Even though some have progressed further than others, we have to keep our eye on it because this stuff, you know, some of these markets have a long way that, you know, talking months to get out of these downtrends. Really quick, before I go to the other markets, I do want to show this Bitcoin, which is everybody. I'm jumping over to the eSignal platform. I'm looking at a lot of 4-hour charts, okay? And the Bitcoin futures chart, many of you know the 19.4 number. Okay, I'll get to that, why that's so important on your daily. But on the 4-hour chart, we've had a couple of patterns down here in that general 19,000 level. We had a deep crab right there at the end of June or early July. Yeah, end of June, early July. It was deep crab. And yesterday we came back and actually hit that. We didn't hit it. It's the first time we hit it. One of those looping type 2s, I call it. Okay, came all the way back down. This is a relevant zone. Just be mindful that this is relevant. And you did trigger a 4-hour HSI right there, all that around 18.6. Here's the thing to consider, okay? We're running out of time. This whole scenario for Bitcoin, okay, yeah, you're going to bump up your stops. Because if Bitcoin fails the 17.9, 17.881, and you close underneath these hop levels, you've got nothing but air. And here's the daily chart, because that will fail your 4-hour patterns that are set up, and will fail the multiple. There's a deep crab, a regular crab. Just look at where the levels are getting printed. 19.4, 22.5. That's a fair enough zone where, you know, under this 19.4 level, 19.3, yeah, they failed. They failed. And that's, look, I'm not worried about, I'm not missing anything at this moment. We're looking at a number of these patterns that in major crypto markets that generated signals like this, checked back in a kind of a delayed signal. Now, what's it doing? Because if it closes underneath these lows, then it all fails. Not there yet, but it's damn close. I just, we got to look at it, just squeeze these ranges. That's why I think if it's going to happen, you're looking at things to happen probably in the next 2 weeks, if not sooner, or maybe even as soon as by Sunday. Maybe think of it this way. Maybe we go, because these are the futures, the BTC Pound F continuous futures and some of those other vehicles, GBTC. If they close under 19.4 and then gap down on the open, say Monday morning, that would be enough for me to say that's failed. You're done. You would get something like this. You have this gap down in the zone, and then what? Another gap down to come on Monday. If that happens, you step aside. And I mean, step aside in terms of then you just wait for the big numbers we have talked about, which is Bitcoin down to 11,000. And everything else will just skunk out. Will go sideways to down. And I have been saying this since really last Thursday, kind of like, okay, yeah, time to really start biting fingernails, because you're running out of price and time. And I think Bitcoin's become an obvious laggard, especially opposed to Ethereum. And if Bitcoin's going to lose its mojo, that will pull down the rest. Even though Bitcoin, I don't think, is as important as Ethereum and what Ethereum needs to do. Just the whole idea of Bitcoin craps out under 19,000. A close under 19,000, a gap down under 19,000. Please keep that in mind, because we'll be back here on Monday and things could change. Keep an eye on it. If you want to trade this market, and so be mindful of it. First of all, we have said since June that it's not a Bitcoin market, it's an Ethereum market. And so how do we want to do this? Like if we're in crypto and we want to be active traders, look, go to the 5-minute chart on Ethereum or even ETC and some of those other related markets that are moving. I think Ethereum, and I've said this all along, very tradable in this phase. And since June, we've been saying that. There's a 5-minute chart. We've got a whole bunch of resistance at 1643 on Ethereum. Resistance meaning, not going up for now. And the hourly, here's the hourly. There you go. Again, this is the critical retest, the big Gartley, and all of that around 1650, 1660. Keep an eye on it. Many patterns are presenting themselves, but they're just taking just giving reactions. There's no major bullish continuation, and the bearish patterns that have developed keep capping any move. Keep an eye on this, folks. Listen, we're going to have to really hunker down and just go day over day on this stuff. Look at that. There's that Ethereum weekly chart. Amazing. Think of it this way. If this down here to 1,000 is that initial test down in here where you got your first confirmation, maybe what it's going to do is go sideways and grind in this kind of a zone for the rest of the year. That's very possible. That's why I'm watching where we are right now. Again, 1650 on the top side, 1500 as support. The next close above or below will tell you what's going to go on. There's a lot there. So look, let's jump over to markets. Nasdaq's only down 60. Talked about this on Tuesday. I want to do a quick update, then I want to go to energy. Okay. Same deal, back-to-back, ugly bearish patterns, hitting their target one. So target one on NASDAQ was 12,075, 12,075 on the NASDAQ 100. So look at it this way. Nothing, we don't have HSI in that zone. That's a problem. So I'm not there yet for this reaction to be over. Okay, draw your trend line down. Tell me about the bearish performance so far. Looks like that. And then we have to also, the reason why we're looking for retest or some kind of confirmation down here is because of this prior zone with the hop level at 11,848. So that doesn't change. You're kind of retesting that zone now, but we need to see individual bar price action. So I'm not looking to get long anything yet. And I wanted to kind of clarify some comments from Tuesday saying that, hey, we're looking for these. People were confused. They didn't know if I was bullish or bearish. Let's just go to Tesla. Okay, this is the deal. And this is a similar situation with other tech stocks, indices, crypto, where you finished the reaction. The June to August move was type 1 reaction on whatever pattern was there. Okay, bat pattern for Tesla. If I wanted to look for the next bullish opportunity, it's on the retest. But that's much lower from where we are now. And that's something I think people were saying, oh, you're looking to be bullish now? No, I'm looking for the opportunity, the return phase to complete lower down here. I will take a look at what happens when you get down here, but certainly that does not mean I get bullish here. No confirmation either. Makes it kind of tough. On the daily, you did have same bat pattern, but you had a crab up here. All right, look at this. Off the June lows, you went and formed a deep crab. Let's just isolate that because here we are. Type 1 reaction for Tesla is over as of yesterday because we formed HSI right there, 272. But this still has to do and could come up and hit the retest pretty quickly. 285 right now. You just need to hit 298, and that could set off the type 2. So you're looking in here. It's a lot of back-to-back kind of real tight action. But the type 1, type 2 framework still is in play. And again, you're looking for this to be the pattern that sets you off to come back down and retest the weekly zone, which is basically 208. All right, I don't know why it's not showing up on the daily. Here's the weekly. It was showing. They were both showing, but the weekly looks like that. In fact, you're hitting back at 286 right now. Could be more resistance. Watch that as the example. Watch Tesla. What Tesla does, and the other one's Microsoft. Microsoft, Tesla, and Apple. All right, here's Microsoft. Got to go to the daily. And these are probably the best 3 individual stocks for the whole market. Microsoft on the clear return phase. Just because you were up yesterday doesn't mean it's over. You are dropping, and rather quickly, I might add, to 241 is your minimum. But we would start looking for an HSI signal between 241 and 221. If I was looking to get bullish, I'm not saying I'm looking to get bullish. I'm just saying I'm looking for the end of the type 2 return, the retest of this whole zone, and then I start making my assessments in here. Do we stabilize? Do we give some kind of trigger in here? That's where I'm looking. But that's also at least 10, maybe 15% lower. I call it 10% lower from current levels. That's where we are in the framework. Here was your ideal reaction back in June. I know I've gone over this a few times in the last few sessions, but Microsoft is probably the most important stock since it's in the Dow, it's in the NASDAQ 100, everybody owns it, that if they're going to sell off Microsoft, the rest of the market's going to go down. But the termination of that is down here, and it's a big setup. Last one that kind of paints the whole tape, if you will. I know they're all tech stocks, Apple. Apple's same deal. Bunch of back-to-back scenarios. Here's a crab. Look, there's the regular crab right at the hop level, 175. You guys know I've been saying 175 on Apple forever. We got and hit target one. Did we get that today? We sure did. 152.68. Oh, really close. Almost at target one for that reaction. So let's keep an eye on it. Where's HSI now? All right, HSI is oversold, hasn't triggered yet. Another thing to be watching into tomorrow and Monday. We come back Monday. If this still doesn't trigger and we don't get any HSI and it keeps on clicking down, respect that. The tough thing to determine here, and we'll see what happens by Monday on Microsoft, or sorry, on Apple. Do we get a type 2 return and then we tank? Something like we go down here, then come back, and then down to retest its deep crab. Look at Microsoft and Apple. Both of those setting up almost ideal fashion. You get type 2 on the bearish pattern back to back. You come back. Look, if the market's going to tank, and I'm going to turn off all the news, which I recommend everyone do for the next few weeks, just line up the patterns. Where is this a buy? We all know the harmonic pattern framework. That's there. Will it get there or not? We've got to wait and see. But this is what we do. We line these up. We label them. I'm not buying right now. But, hey, we get a retest on Apple at 131, or we'll get down to the hop at 119. That's where we look. But where we are currently does not suggest that we're anywhere near a bullish scenario. That's the framework, folks. That's the framework that if you're not aware of that 1, 2, whatever, you need to go over to the basic members page, get to this kind of stuff here. Get to volume 3 and review the targets and just how the management, how the reaction reversal dynamics come together. Because this is how we treat all harmonic patterns. Type 1, reaction, come back, retest. Type 2. And if you're not aware of that, please, by all means, it's towards the back. It's volume 3, and it's basically from page 300 on. So that stuff, and that's the kind of more advanced harmonic pattern interpretation that maybe over the last 10 years I've really worked hard to refine, to emphasize those dynamics. I mean, above and beyond just differentiating M and W formations, how we handle them. What do we expect? What's the common trait? I mean, go back to Apple. This is just remarkable. Here's Apple's, the original crab from last year that topped out at 175, right at the hop level. That was end of December. Okay. That did a type 1 reaction. This one got down to target 2. But look, beautiful bearish to bullish. Okay, end of the type 1 reaction. Type 2 return with a bullish pattern there. Come all the way back, get rejected, and form another pattern. Now we got to look for this to come all the way back and retest. That would satisfy a whole bunch of things. Keep an eye on Apple, Microsoft, Tesla. We'll call it the MAT checkup. Microsoft, Apple, Tesla. Those three are going to carry it. Okay. Energy, really quick. Energy, let's look at like XOI, please. That's something we haven't looked at too much. Oil and gas, look. I thought this was a weekly. Hold on, bear with me. Yeah, here we go. Weekly, a lot of bearish patterns all over the place on this XOI. Okay, this is oil and gas index. And let me just isolate. Let me remove. What is that? Is it a bat? Yeah, it's a bat. Let me remove the bat. And we can just look at these. There's a couple patterns here. There's a butterfly at that original peak. That was, sorry, let me get this back into view. 2019. This came all the way down, crazy collapse thing. Still managed to come back up and retest for, this is a type 2 off the butterfly. But look, on your way up, you form another deep crab. And look at this. So take a look. All right, so you swing back to retest the butterfly en route. You'd have a deep crab. And folks, this is, please take this to heart. Look at this. Look at these dynamics. You run right up to the 1618. You dump exactly to target 1. Everyone see that? And now you're coming back to retest. That's 1827. There's no confirmation here. And I said a few days ago that I thought this could come higher and then trigger. All right, but that does not mean I'm saying get long. There was nothing in between that would suggest that. Maybe now there is. Maybe there's something now on an hourly chart. But you're looking for that to trigger on a daily or weekly, up, back up at these levels. Yeah, see on the hourly, you get a whole bunch of hop levels. Nothing really there. But here's, say, crude oil. Here's light sweet crude, futures contract. CL, pound F. All right, go to the daily. Here's the daily. Remember the shark? All right, down here. We know we had no follow through. We had a shark that just hit the hop level. Oh, great. What's going to happen here? Well, HSI has to pop out on that next one. Basically, you close under yesterday's low. Yeah, you're going to probably do a bigger washout. Anything under 81 gives you big problems. And you need to see this pop out today. I mean, this has to be the low within this whole consolidation, or the weekly time frame kind of comes back and does either an all-time 382 or even just look at the last run of things. 886 off that last swing. For, basically a 1-year retracement's around $70. I think Nat Gas has been the one probably cluing us off that there's a lot of overhead resistance. Remember, sorry, not NQ, NG. NG, $9 resistance, $6 support. Looks like that's back. Here's the $9 resistance. Weekly check back at around 970. This is now set up where you've rolled over. We had a, I'll go to UNG in a second, but where did that go? Where are my patterns? Hold on. Oh, wait, here you go. Maybe this was a weekly. No, it's UNG that I want. There's deep crab up here. UNG is the Nat Gas ETF. There you go. Deep crab off of that low. Check it out. Terminal bar is 3278, 3331. Your 1618, 3278. That's your minimum. Well, this thing got slapped. No confirmation, so we still assume that's a reaction. But you're definitely pulling back. And I want to see what happens in Nat Gas if that does roll over deeper and goes all the way back to 6. But for UNG, this is what I talked about a couple of weeks ago on the 3 ideas. We had UNG as a short. And I would still go target 1, but check out where amplified and HSI are. Oops, sorry. Let me go to the daily. So if you're looking for some direction in this market, here's the daily. Thank you. The same deep crab, but you can see it more clearly. There you go. Hop at 3071, down to target 1. Okay, reaction over. Also, take a look. Note, downtrend violated. And you came back. This looked like, I'm telling you, it wasn't even 2 weeks ago. I was like, is this going to break out and explode? And I was saying it has to go above $10 on the spot contract, and it never did. I say that's a type 2 on the daily. The weekly still kind of type 1, but you're going to drop to, like, I would say 24, 22 area. You got some room to the downside here. Keep an eye on that. Maybe that brings some help to the equities. I don't know. But for right now, your inability to bust through that, over, done. Come back. Go to Nat Gas, comes back to the 6 handle for a retest of support. Here's the Boyle. Although we gave up on Boyle a while back because it's been so volatile, it does have a lot of nice patterns. So maybe we keep an eye on it. Some of you folks I know have been in and out on this, but again, 1618 at 124 felt, what was that? Just shy? I wondered if that hit in the pre-market. I'd have to look at that. 123 was the high there. Let me just quickly look if that got to 124.77, the pre-market. No, 123. Keep an eye on it though. We have clear resistance at that 120 level on the daily chart. Again, I'm favoring UNG over Boyle. We started out with Boyle when it was at $25 or $20. But that's what that looks like. And if you do want to, looking for, I know some of you guys, I caught you into Boyle, and some of you have been into this, sunk your teeth into it. Look, don't be surprised if you come back and retest some kind of support all the way down here at $50. It has done that 3 times in the past year. Keep an eye on all of that. A lot going on. All right, let's give away one more book and wrap it up for today. Next person to type in V3 wins a final book for the day. And I do want to wrap up and say we're going to be back on Monday. Back on Monday at 12 noon. And I think Mitch Ray and I are going to try to get together and do a live stream before the big Vegas show. So do stay tuned. We'll be back on Monday. Rocky Free, you win. Thanks for hanging in. Everyone, thanks for hanging in for these sessions. Come on back with Monday, okay? Let's see where we are. And again, watch that Ethereum. That Ethereum is holding the key for so many markets, especially most of crypto, that I don't want to take my eye off of that. Or if it's the markets, let's look at the MAT stocks, Microsoft, Apple, and Tesla. And then we'll have a real clear idea of how bad this is going to get or if this is going to try to stabilize somewhere. Until then, everybody, go get them. As always, thanks again. Congratulations to the winners. Reach out to Miss Stephanie on the Discord. You have any further questions, get a hold of me. Again, go to the basic members page over here on harmonictrader.com and get with our program. The Discord link is at the bottom of the page, number 4, and just click on that and get to our people there. All right. Everybody, have a great weekend. We'll see you on